Hello and welcome to Caravan Escapades. Hope everybody's keeping safe and well. Now, some of you might know I've had a TyrePal system fitted for quite a while, but I've just taken that TyrePal system off and I've purchased this one. This is the TyrePal Solar Colour Pro. Now, this is really, or technically designed for four-wheel vehicles, so motorhomes, that sort of thing, but because we've got a twin axle caravan, we can use it on our caravan. Now the difference with this one is, in the old system, with the old system what you had to do was program each sensor in. All these sensors are pre-programmed on this system. Also, as it says, Solar Colour Pro, it sits in the windscreen and is solar powered. There is a lead to connect it to the cigarette lighter, but it is solar powered as well. And what I liked about this system, it's not quite as bulky as the other one, particularly when we go into France. We've got a sat nav in there, I've got my camera in the window, I've got the TyrePal in the window, and it does take up a lot of the window space. So let's take a look at what we've got inside this box. So let's open the box. So in here we have some instructions. So there's the main instructions there. What's this one here? Please follow the instructions. And this one says TyrePal TPMS Solar Colour Pro for pre-registered TCSO external sensors. So that's what I mean, is that the sensors that go on your tyres are pre-programmed. To successfully install your new TPMS kit, please read the user manual and follow each step carefully in order to order as set out in the user manual. So you've obviously got to fit it in a certain way. Fit the CR1632 batteries provided into each sensor by sliding into position, and use the battery tool to tighten the sensor. Carefully follow instructions to fit each labelled TCSO sensor to your vehicle's tyre. Find out your vehicle's cold tyre pressures and follow procedure to set high and low alarms. Right, so what else do we get in the box? So here's the other bits within the box. So there's the batteries, so you get a full set of batteries. We also get, they're the little, they're like weather shields that go around the actual sensors when you put them on your tyre. In here we have, this is the little solar panel, and that's where the display comes up on there. So that's that one. So it is a lot smaller than the other system. And I suspect within here are the 4 sensors. And I suspect this here is, so that sticky pad, I'm guessing, which goes under there, which will go on your dash. There's a charge lead, and here is the tool for sliding them in. Let's pop one of the batteries out of here like so. So then we undo the unit like this. It does say in the instructions to fit the little O-ring over there. And then take the battery, slide the battery in from that side. Then we place the top on here. And using the tool, so we've got a special tool here, using the tool we tighten that up. It seems to push that O-ring out, so I'm not sure about that O-ring. You can tighten it up either that way, sorry, wrong side. You can tighten it up either that way or turn it over, tighten it up that way. So that's one sensor done. I'm just going to check on the O-rings and then we'll see about fitting it. Well, I'll do the other 3 and then we'll see about fitting it to the caravan. Instructions about the little O-ring, and I should have read what it said on that packet there, really. Spares. So there is already O-rings fitted in the sensors, and they're there should, or these spares are here should these split or you need to change it when changing the batteries. So I'll get on and get the other 3 fitted, and then we'll get out and we'll fit it to the caravan. Use the tool for, if you put it on this back end here, you can use it for helping you screw it down onto the valve. So you notice on the sensors, they're all, because they're pre-registered, they're all pre-labelled. I don't know if you can see that one. That one is left front, that one is left rear, Focusing in, probably not very well. And then we have right front and right rear, so it's left as in the Caravan pointing forward. I tell you what, let's go outside and get these fitted. Right, so hopefully you can see this okay. So what we do now is we take off the dust cap and we take one of these dust shields, we drop that on over the valve like so, and I always roll it back. Or when I've fitted these before, I roll it back. Then we take one of the little locking nuts and we roll that all the way down there, so it's all the way down. So let's make sure we get the right one. So this is the left rear, so let's screw that on there, if you can get it on. There we go, let's screw that. It's expelled a little bit of air, it was expected to do that. And what it says here, what we should get on the display momentarily, there we go. So there is the known shown PSI. So that's literally come up straight away. I mean, that is really easy to install. Hopefully you can see that on the display there. So what you then do is this locking nut just at the rear, is we take it back and we just nip it on to the valve. That's just to help the valve lock in place, and then these rubber shields just drop back like that, and that is that one fitted. So let's go through and fit the other one with you. Let's just move this here so you can see okay. So same process again, take off the valve, try and do this so you can see okay. So take off the valve, let's just move the camera down a little bit. Take the dust shield, just roll that back, there we go. And take one of the little knots, and screw that on there. Like so. Take the sensor that says left front, screw that onto the valve. It will expel a little bit of air as you put it on, and it should appear. Take this here, tighten it up like so. And then roll that back over, and that is another one installed. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go round, do those to the side, and then I'll come back to you in a moment. So that's all four now installed, and as you saw when I installed the second one, only the first one was coming up on the display after 3 or 4 seconds. What I've discovered is that what you have to do is turn off this, turn it back on again, then screw your new sensor on, and then once you've screwed your new sensor on, it does indicate. So I have had all 4 sensors indicating on there. So what I'm going to do now is set the various different units and warnings. So you'll have to bear with me, because I'm going to do is go through the instructions as I do this. So switch on is press and hold the minus button for 4 or 5 seconds. So that's the unit come on there. Then press and hold down the set button for 4 to 5 seconds. So then it says set the press unit. So actually I want it at PSI. So you do, what do you do here? So yeah, you press plus or minus. So minus, change it to bar or PSI. So that's the 2 options you got, bar or PSI. So I'm going to leave that at bar. Press set when pressure unit is chosen, so we leave that at PSI. So that's good, that's at PSI. So then set temperature units, press the plus or minus button and select C for C or F. So what are we doing here now? Are we changing anything? Oh yeah, I can see in the corner here, look, you've got Fahrenheit or centigrade. You see where my thumb is? So we're going to leave it at centigrade. So press the set button and set front axle high pressure alarm. So I think we're going to set the, oh sorry, I didn't mean to kick the camera then. So we can change this at a later date. So I'm going to set the front axle high pressure alarm at, so where are we at now? So the normal is 39. So let's know, being in France and knowing it gets quite warm, so let's set that to 49. 10 psi does seem quite a lot, but what you've got to remember is the tyres do get hot when travelling normally anyway. So let's do that. So let's set that and then low pressure. Actually I want to know when it gets to about 35, at least, with 39 being actually 36 I think set. So that's that. So then for the rear axle I believe, so it's saying that to 4, going the wrong way again, so 49 for the rear axle set. And what did I set the temperature for again? I think it was low pressure 36 set. I think this is for the spare wheel, if we have a spare wheel. So we don't have a spare wheel. Set spare wheel tyre pressure, set high pressure alarm level 25% above vehicle. Oh, it actually says here some recommendations. So set the high pressure alarm level 25% above vehicle recommended tyre pressure for axle selected. So 25% normally above. Set low pressure alarm level 15% below vehicle recommended tyre pressure for axle selected. Press and hold the set button for 4 or 5 seconds to register the unit. So that has registered all those settings. Congratulations, the process now complete, and you should turn the monitor off. So let's turn the monitor off. Let's press and hold the minus button. Test the TPMS setup. So it is giving you some ideas how to test the system. So what it's asking you to do is turn it on and then remove one of the sensors, and that again I guess is giving you a low warning. What's it say here? So test the TPMS setup, either drive vehicle or follow below. Because what I found with the old TPMS system or the old TyrePal system, it didn't start registering until you'd be driving for probably a minute or so, and they all came up. So what it says here, switch on, press and hold the plus button for 4 or 5 seconds, remove sensor from the valve, monitor should alarm, replace sensor to cancel alarm. Note, when the sensor is removed, the display will emit an audible alarm and the tyre icon and pressure display from that wheel will flash along with the time warning symbol. So that's it. I think what I'm going to do is go and mount this in the car, show you how we're going to mount that in the car, and then probably the next thing is to come back when we're actually using it. So I'm now going to mount this on the dash in a suitable position using this sticky pad. Now to be fair, my sat nav normally goes over here, so sat nav normally goes about there, but I'm thinking somewhere about there, pointing slightly at me. I don't know whether you can see that over there. Can you see that? So somewhere about there, let's bring you in a bit higher here. So somewhere about there with a slight angle pointing at me, and that should work well. So let's see how this works. So I think we've got this pad here which seems to be a sticky pad, so I'm going to take off probably, so it's got a ridge area on one side and then a non-ridged area on that. So I think so let's take that off. Let's place that on, it's actually slightly bigger. I think it's one of these new pads that isn't permanently sticky. So let's put that on there. Let's remove that from there, and then let's mount let's mount it the right way round so I can see the display. In fact, let's take that piece of plastic off there as well. Let's take that off there. Come on, off you go. There we go. So let's take that piece of plastic off there. Let me just get this position right so I can see it reasonably well. Slightly angled towards me, just there, like so. Yeah, I think that'll work quite well just there. And oh, actually, it isn't stuck. I wonder whether it sticks better the other way. Let's try it the other way. Does it stick any better? It might not be a sticky pad. It might just be a non-slip pad. Yeah, sticks slightly better that way. So I think it's essentially just a non-stick, non-slidey pad. As I said before, we also got this and this. So I shall drop this. This is, I guess, if you want to give it a charge. There's a nice bit of sun out there. Let me just press and hold the minus button, prove that I can get that on. So that's on there. Can I see that all right? Yeah, I can see that displayed quite nicely. I think there's a little sun symbol there, which tells me it's probably picking up a little bit of charge from the sun. We're at PSI. Let's see how we get on with that, shall we? So I'll come back to you. We're heading off to France tomorrow, so we should be able to see how we get on and how that records when we're on our way. So let me give you an update on the solar TyrePal so far. I have to say I've been incredibly impressed with it. It's worked really well. What I found though, when we very first set off, all three of the indicators came up apart from the right front, and that probably took about 3 or 4 minutes to come online. But after that, as soon as we're moving, everything's online, and so it's indicating how well you can see this. Let me see if I can make this a bit easy for you to see. So whether you can see the displays on here, I mean, this is just on its sticky pad, which I can kind of move around and position for the best viewing angle. So the white are the tyre pressure indicators. That's 38 on the front's 39. They've been very consistent all the way through, sitting at about 40 degrees, which is normal tyre pressure on these is 39, so I've been quite pleased with that. And then again, the yellows that you can see there on the left hand side, we've got 27, 26, 28, and they are the tyre pressures. Worked really well. One downside, and it is a bit of a downside, but I guess I can live with it, and I don't know whether it's coming through on the camera very well, but there is a glare from that screen. Whether it's the perspex in front of the indicators or those sort of stuff, there is definitely a glare there, and it does make it at times difficult to read. Not unreadable, but does make it slightly difficult to read. I guess there's not a backlight on it, particularly with it being solar panel, to save on power, that sort of thing. But apart from that, I have been really pleased with it. So that's my review of the TyrePal solar system. It is a dedicated system where each of the sensors are pre-programmed into the receiver. This isn't a sponsored link in any way, shape or form. I actually bought this system when I was at the NEC show. I can't remember exactly what the price was, probably about 69 quid or something like that. Anyway, I'll find out the updated price and I'll flash it on the screen here somewhere. I'll also put a link down below to the TyrePal website, the link to the system, and check it out. But I've been really impressed with it. We've not had to use the power lead at all. You know, it's just worked really well. Anyway, hope you've enjoyed that. Thank you very much for watching. Please don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Hit that notification bell and you'll be notified when we put out more vlogs. And we'll see you very soon.